Marami pa din po confused lalo sa mga barangay sa pamamahagi ng card per household. Pinipilit pa rin po ng ilan barangay na maghati ang ilang pamilya sa isang form. Paano to maa-address? Okay. Magandang hapon po sa atin lahat, mga kababayan natin sa Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, mga OFWs natin na bagong dating po at naka-quarantine, welcome home, welcome back po. Doon po sa mga LGUs at mga hotels po na nag-host sa atin mga OFWs, kahit may concern about COVID-19, maraming salamat sa inyo. Thank you po for being good people, good Christians at kung anuman religion natin po, no, by accepting and hosting and helping yung mga OFWs natin umuwi. Mga OFWs natin all around the world, nagmo-monitor din po kami through DFA and through of course CNN, BBC, at nakikita din po namin ang hirap ng inyong kalagayan. So mga OFWs po sa Italy, sa US po at saka sa ibang bansa na medyo sa UK, no, na medyo laganap yung COVID. We're praying for you. Katulad din ng OFWs natin sa China yan, sa Korea, malalampasan natin to, tulong-tulong tayo. So today, allow me to start to put context sa ating pinag-uusapan, no. Tandaan po natin na the start of the 18th Congress, more than 300 members of Congress, lahat ng distrito around the country, and lahat ng mga party list representatives, we promise you that we will give you a relevant, reliable, and responsive Congress. No? Yung po pangako namin sa inyo, relevant, reliable, at responsive. At this point in time, there are three ways that we can do that. No? First is through legislation and oversight. Second is through taking care of our districts, donating, getting donations together, and helping in our own quiet way. O yung iba ina-announce, not for the sake of announcing it, pero para makatulong yung iba. But pangatlo din is to keeping you informed. Not for the purpose of simply keeping you informed, but because we want you part of the process. We want you to be part of the decision making. So in the same manner na pinararating ng mga kapitan yung sentimento nila sa mga mayor, yung mga mayor pinaparating sa congressman nila. So I'd like to thank Deputy Speaker Abu and Congresswoman Collantes, no, sa pag-iikot nila sa distrito nila to explain what's happening at magkaroon ng feedback. So nakakarating po sa amin yan, no? So yes, in behalf of Congress, either the Majority Leader Martin Romualdez is speaking to you directly through the DCC, or myself together with Deputy Speaker El Rey, Minority Leader po natin na si Bishop Abante ng Manila, or through Eric Yap, Chairman ng APRO, or together, no, yung Oversight Committee. But yung lahat ng feedback po nyo ay binabato din namin. So, let's continue this conversation because it's important that all of our people in government ay well-informed sa mga nangyayari, especially on the ground, no? So, Holy Week, nag-start po tayo ng Palm Sunday po yesterday. Ano po ba ang Palm Sunday? Di ba ito yung triumphant entry ng ating Panginoon Jesucristo sa loob ng Jerusalem, no? And he was on a donkey, and a donkey symbolizes peace. So rather than a military conqueror na nakakabayo o chariot entering, he entered as Lord and Savior on a donkey, and sinalubong siya ng husto ng mga tao, kaya po tayo may palaspas, no? Or we reenact and we go to church and remember that time na inacknowledge po siya ng Jerusalem. But kung titingnan nyo po, between the time na ng Palm Sunday sa Last Supper, and then when Judas betrayed the Lord Jesus, and then pagdating po sa kanyang trial, hindi ba tinanong po, sinong papakawalan natin? Yung isa pong known murderer and thief o ang Panginoon? Ang pinili po nila, pakawalan yung thief and murderer, no? So, I wanted that as a spiritual reflection, but also as a example of human nature. Human nature po natin talaga na emotional at nag-iiba. So, today bida, bukas kontrabida. Today mabango yung administrasyon, bukas mabango yung oposisyon, the next day mabango na naman administrasyon. Sa mga sports celebrities, sa mga artista, meron uso, meron na of course, meron mga lifetime favorites, pero up and down yan no? So, I wanted to reiterate that during this time that we are at war with COVID-19, there are only two sides. Side ni COVID-19 and sino makakakampi niyan? Kakampi niyan po yung mga nagsispread ng fake news, yung pong mga gusto mag-profit, yung profiteering, yung jack up talaga ang presyo during this time. Kasama dyan yung mga nagko-cause ng panic intentionally, ha? I mean, some of us can cause a concern or panic unintentionally. Part yan na dapat i-address. But anything that helps COVID-19 or the new coronavirus defeat us, yan ang nasa side ng corona. And I would think that 100% of humans should be on the side of defeating COVID-19 or new coronavirus, no? So I want to give that context before we start answering mga questions ng media at saka ng mga netizens, 'di ba? Kasi minsan may partisanship pa rin, may politika, minsan parang eto sinabi ni Alan Cayetano, eto naman sinabi ng IATF, eto naman sinabi ng DSW. You know, we're working together. And we're all here to try to clarify and to inform you and to give you information, but also get your feedback. So we're on the same side. So there's no doubt, no, na IATF, DSWD, even the House opposition, kahit anong ideology, no, we're on the same side of this issue against COVID-19. We might have different ideas, pero we're magkakampi tayo dito. We're on that side. So having said that, allow me to first talk about yung sinabi ko kanina, and then also yung questions, no? But remember a few days ago, binanggit ko po sa inyo na isang napakasama na nangyayari, and we say napakasama with understanding. There's a lot of fear, there's a lot of uncertainty, there's a lot of concern. There's a lot of love for your family members, kaya nagkaka-discrimination sa ibang health workers at dun sa mga nag-positive na COVID-19. And I was saying that if we do it that way, lalong gugulo, di ba? I mean, yung mga medical professionals and health workers they can choose to stay at home, they can choose to use their savings, they can choose to just continue their practice afterwards. But they took an oath to do no harm and to save every life that they can. So they're going to work precisely so that may lumalaban sa disease na to at may nagte-take care sa atin, no? So we talked about that exhaustively and asked and said, no, na the scientists naman, the medical professionals know what they're doing, basta masunod lang yung protocol, wag lang pasaway, halimbawa ang isang positive, no? So if you live po in a community, lalo sa urban poor, yung proximity mo o yung lapit mo sa mga kapitbahay mo. So kung mag-positive, yung LGU magsasabi sa iyo kung lilipat ka na sa ospital, kung hindi, magtulong-tulong tayo. So I wanna give two examples kasi this morning, Lani, my wife, Congresswoman Lani was telling me, meron isang malapit sa amin, so looban kasi nila o yung community nila, may nag-positive. So ayaw daw tanggapin nung tindahan yung pera pag may pinapabili. So sabi ko nga kay Lani, let's keep explaining and then pahatiran na rin talaga ng pagkain at saka mga needs nila, no? So when meron tayong identified na nag-positive o kaya binabantayan at mas mabuting hindi makalabas, tayo na magkapwa-tao na tumulong na hindi nila kailangan lumabas. Kasi you go back again to why we're doing all of this. We're doing this to save lives, di ba? So kung yung tao naman isasyan natin, kung yung tao naman ay hindi makakain, kung yung tao ay diabetic or may hika, may high blood, tapos hindi natin bibigyan ng tamang gamot o medical attention, no, then we will not be saving lives, di ba? And nasaan ang humanity in all of that? So the second example is positive naman, no? I've been watching TV the last few days. I guess marami din po sa inyo na nasa bahay lang. At nung una, a few weeks ago, it's more of yung Italians dahil grabe din po at pagdasal din po natin Italy, lalo po mga Pilipino nandun sa nangyayari sa kanila, no? Makikita nyo po, pila talaga yung kabaong and talagang everyday, grabe po. At nag-viral nga po yung picture ng isang exhausted na nurse na talagang nakatulog na dun sa desk sa dami ng inasikaso at sa laki ng problema sa kanila, no? So, ang ginawa po nung ibang mga Italiano sa gabi, aside from kumanta, nagpalakpakan session. So, they're showing their appreciation, nagpalakpakan. So, in the same manner na nakita ko po yung mga gumagaling sa COVID, pagpalabas po ng ospital, may iyak-iyak po sa pinagdaanan. Pero ganun din po ang babaw ng luha ng mga health workers because they risk their life. Diba? They risk their lives in getting that person well. So actually, pinapalakpakan po nila yung gumaling because it's a victory against COVID. But actually po, pumapalakpak din po yung pasyenteng gumaling dahil kung iniwanan siya ng health workers po na ito, hindi siya gumaling. So let's stick together during these times, no? So I just wanted to start out with that message because nga, I sincerely believe pagsubok ito. The Lord God is watching us in His greatness, in His mercy of how we act in every situation. We will look back at this time not only as a time of significant change, we will look back at this as a time of physical, social distancing, pero we will also measure. So sa physical social distancing, mine-measure natin a meter or 2 meters away. Mine-measure natin yung droplets, gaano kalayo umaabot ito para makahawa. But we will also be measuring social cohesion or yung sinasabing love your neighbor as you love yourself. We will be measuring what did we do, how did we react. So again po, hindi ko minamasama yung concerns. Mahal mo pamilya mo, you want to protect them, and hindi po namin sinasabing hindi dapat disiplinahin or hindi dapat kumilos ang gobyerno sa pasaway. So halimbawa kung meron pong positive tapos ikot pa rin ang ikot, pumupunta pa rin po sa mga public places, siya pa rin ang nagro-grocery, siya po ang bibili dun sa ospital, mali po yon because makakahawa. And I think that's one reason po na nung binabantayan ko po yung sa US, may suggestion na po na pag lumabas mag-mask kasi pag asymptomatic, hindi mo po alam na meron kang COVID, baka makahawa kung yung droplets ay umabot sa iba, no? So, let me go to the questions. First po, dun sa report, hinihintay pa natin, but may nagtanong po, I think that's, unahin ko na yung question na yon, no? Kasi, tinanong po ng isang reporter and tumatawag sa akin yung ibang mga kongresista to get their copy of the report. Usually, pinipicturean namin, then we send a copy right away electronically. Para meron na sila, no? Let me see. Yan. Okay. Progress report on Bayanihan to Heal as One. Report to Oversight Committee from Jenshen Espedido, Business World. Update on Malacanang's weekly report to Joint Congressional Oversight Committee, RE, Bayanihan to Heal as One. Jenshen, we're not being very technical and 24/7 naman po tayo. So kami na po mismo nagsabi sa palasyo, basta dumating naman ng 11:59 yung report, i-receive namin yan and then hihimayin namin and then we will give our comments and share with the public, no? So the report is just to have a formal way na lahat tayo informed, but every day nag-briefing naman yung IATF, and I think on Mondays nagsasalita ang ating Pangulo. So let's wait for the announcement. But actually his speaking is also part of the report, no? So may written at may oral part of the report dito. So we'll get back to you pag na-receive na namin yung report, and sa mga nanonood sa Facebook at nagko-comment, I'll go through it with you again, no? So question, okay, from Mel Caspe, RVFN, Borongan City, maupay nga aga speaker o hapon na, bakit po kailangan may kota ang mga beneficiaries ng 5 to 8 lalo na po sa probinsya? From Jess Gaduco, hi Jess, no? IBC 13, marami pa din po confused lalo sa mga barangay sa pamamahagi ng card per household. Pinipilit pa rin po ng ilan barangay na maghati ang ilang pamilya sa isang form. Paano to ma-address? Okay. Before I answer that, kanina sinabi ko na, there's no him or her, us or them, conservative, liberal, communist, or whatever, Christian, Muslim. Here, it's COVID-19 versus all of us. So, I want to share the simple principle, no? Sa lahat ng pag-uusapan natin at sa lahat ng ikla-clarify po natin, I think we go back to yung purpose ng gobyerno, purpose ni President Duterte, purpose ng economic team at ng Kongreso sa batas na to. Okay? And when you talk about this law, yung Bayanihan to Hilas 1, you talk about COVID-19 because it's a response, diba? It's a response to COVID-19. So our response to COVID-19, which is based on scientific advice, is mag-lockdown or magkaroon ng community quarantine and later on the enhanced community quarantine. So the problem with the community quarantine is nag-uunahan ngayon anong papatay sa'yo, COVID-19 o yung gutom. So the Bayanihan to Hilas 1 was passed because ang intensyon ng Pangulo, wala pong magugutom at wala pong nangangailangan ng gamot na hindi niya makukuha during this time, na hindi ka naman makatrabaho, hindi ka makapunta sa kamag-anak mo, hindi ka makapunta sa 5-6 o sa sanlaan o sa bangko para mangutang. So, every time there's confusion, bumalik po tayo doon. Ano ba intention ng ating Pangulo? So, in this case po, yung quota, ang intention po ng Pangulo, walang magutom So, that has to be our frame of mind. Having said that, it's supply and demand, meaning, kung ang hinanda ng gobyerno ay 100 billion, for 18 million families, but actually 18.5 million families ang nangangailangan, hahanap tayo dun sa 500,000 families, no? So yung quota, actually mga mayor ang nagbigay ng name na to sa Metro Manila na quota because based on certain official statistics, no? I think it was the 2015 census, pero ang ginawa ng Department of Finance, nag-add ng 3 million on the census, no? Kasi tumaas ang population natin. Based on that, per region, meron po yan scientific estimates, no? It's not guesstimates, hindi po to hula, pero hindi rin po to eksakto, no? So it's let me call it scientific estimates of ilan po ang pamilyang bibigyan. So as these numbers come out, halos lahat po ng kapitan at mayor ay nagsasabi ng kulang, no? And part of the confusion is, let me jump to one question kasi I think papasok din dito, no? Sige, ulitin ko na lang yung questions, pero may nagtatanong kasi na parang sinabi daw ng gobyerno or sinabi ko lahat bibigyan. Let me clarify po that. From the start, we've been very, very clear that there are 24.6 million Filipino families. Okay? And then let me inject another thing we have to clarify, household. For the purpose of yung emergency subsidy program, yung 5 to 8,000 pesos, the government has been using household and families interchangeably. No? But let me go back to that. But anyway, so there's 24.6 million families or sometimes ginagamit ng gobyerno households, no? Ganon din sa 4Ps, there are 4.4 million families po ang mas technical na tama. Pero ginagamit din yung household, no? Okay. So based on that, yung 18 million are informal, part of our informal economy. Yung 6.6 million families are part of the formal economy. Iba po ang programa dyan. Doon po sa 6.6 million families po yun, ha? So that's more than 30 million Filipinos. Yan po, may mga programang existing dyan, like sa DOLE. For example po, yung natigil at hindi nagsusweldo ngayon, pero nagbabayad kayo sa SSS. Yung isa po, yung binabanggit ni Sexani Dominguez sa akin kahapon, that they're working on a big program, no, for micro, small, and medium enterprises. Hindi ko siya pangungunahan. I told you this 2 weeks ago na that yung part of the stimulus is both big business and micro, small, and medium enterprise. At tingin ko tama na unahin nila yung micro, small, and medium enterprise because more than 90% of employment nandyan. So tutulungan nila yan para yung mga employees nun, no? So, dun sa iba nagtatanong na may trabaho at hindi kayo nakakasweldo ngayon, maaring dun kayo sa 6.6 million kasama. So, ang sinabi po namin, kung qualified kayo sa 18 million, lahat kayo dapat meron. Now, there was some confusion po on the forms because nga po of the interpretation and the guidelines. So, I got a chance to speak to Sec Dominguez and Sec Rolly Bautista, Yusek Amy, and the Office of Senator Bongo kahapon. Nagkaroon kami ng mabilisan na pag-uusap sa telepono. And kung titignan mo kasi yung guidelines, yung SAC or yung Social Amelioration Card, ito ay ginagamit pang identify. Pero ang nangyari sa implementation, kung ilan lang ang ibibigay sa city mo, yun din lang ang number of forms, di ba? So going back to the household, no? Kung titignan niyo po sa dictionary, ang nakalagay po ng meaning ng household, it's number of people in a house and measured as a unit, no? Other definitions is yung laman ng bahay, pero halimbawa sabay kayo kumakain or preparation and everything. So to give you context, hindi po lingid sa kaalaman ng Department of Finance at ng economic team that in fact in the Philippines, lalo sa highly urbanized, maraming pamilya sa isang bahay. So, rather than mag-argue tayo kung sino tama, dictionary, etc., kasi nasa mga guidelines na yan, dun sa mga nakikinig na mag-i-implement, at tandaan nyo po, I'm addressing myself to the public, I'm addressing myself to the LGUs, hats off sa inyo talaga bumagsak ang problema, pero pakiusap nga ng Pangulo at tulungan ng national government. And of course, I'm talking to the national government, specifically DSWD and the task force, no? So, to take out confusion, Tagalogin na lang natin, o let's use the Filipino language. Ang isang bahay, maaring maraming pamilya. So, kung ang laman ng bahay mo ay 3 pamilya, at 2 pamilya doon ay qualified, edi yung 2 pamilya makakatanggap. Kung 3 pamilya ay qualified, edi yung 3. Kung 3 kayong nandyan at sa formal economy kayo, di ba? Example, hindi bahay, compound. So may mga kaibigan po ako sa compound nakatira, nandun pa yung magulang, 4 silang magkapatid, tig-isa silang bahay, yung bunso ay single, pero yung first, second at third na panganay ay meron ng pamilya, di ba? So actually, bibilangin mo ilan ang pamilya doon. So in dictionary terms, isang household yon, pero maraming pamilya. But as I said, because it's being used interchangeably sa mga guidelines, clarify namin, ang ibig sabihin ng household in this context is pamilya. So Tagalogin na lang natin, yung isang bahay maaring maraming pamilya. Okay? Pero wag nyo po sisihin si Mayor, wag nyo pong sisihin si Kapitan, because there are only 2 possibilities sa mangyayari. Kasi ibibigay at ibibigay sa inyo to. One possibility is that hindi kayo qualified, and that means may ibang programa that you will qualify pag kailangan ka nun. But not the ESP program, no? Yung yung emergency subsidy program. So maraming ibang program, DSWD, DOLE, Department of Agriculture, and then may inaayos po ang economic team led by Sec Dominguez for micro, small, and medium enterprises. And then later on, with the business community at yung mga nag-a-advise and kasama Central Bank, there will be more programs for the economy, no? The second possibility is that kulang talaga. Meaning, sa census, 50,000 households, and then 30,000 ang bibigyan, but in reality, 70,000 na kayo at dapat bigyan ay 35. So, dito po tayo nakikiusap na hindi sapat sa crisis na to yung whole of government approach. Whole of government po, ibig sabihin, hindi magtuturoan yung gobyerno kay local government, national government, barangay, interagency, kongreso, executive, kailangan magtulong-tulong. This is really an all-of-people approach. Tayo-tayo na ang magtulungan lahat, no? So, yung sinasabing, yung isang question po ng isang reporter na tinatanong, yung sinasabi daw ng ibang kapitan ay maghati-hati sa isang bahay. This may be a creative way to help and get you the help muna. So, mag-uusap po ulit kami ng DSWD today. May 2 USEC po na ibinigay po na contact. May matrix na po kami ng mga guidelines, may mga suggestion, may mga ano po may mga very successful na nagawa together. One example po niyan is with COA, and let me thank Sec Rolly and USEC Amy and Deputy Speaker El Rey Villafuerte, and of course thank you to Chairman Aguinaldo. By working together, naayos nila yung guidelines ng COA kasi under the existing guidelines ng COA before this emergency, pag meron pang unliquidated yung LGU, hindi pwede mag-download yung DSWD. Pero kung hihintayin natin yan, meron mga LGU o marami, hindi mada-download yung ESP or yung Emergency Subsidy Program. So by working together, no, walang camera to, walang press release, by working together, the people I mentioned were able to put this together. Si Majority Leader Romualdez, marami din kausap every day, no? Yung iba pong, yung ating pong economic cluster, si Joey Salceda, si Sharon Garin, si Congressman Kua ng Quirino, no? All of them are working. Si Chairman Yap, with Deputy Speaker Pulong, si Deputy Speaker Loren Legarda, no? So hindi ko na ma-mention lahat, pero walang cameras, walang press release, nakikipagtulungan. Another thing that we got done with DSWD is sa mga LGU ngayon, nauna na yung download ng pera kahit inaayos nyo pa yung forms and identification. Sa unang guidelines, baliktad, no? Or sa draft ng guidelines, hihintayin muna lahat. Tama po si Deputy Speaker El Rey na marami pong LGUs at napakalaking pera po na to, 100 billion per month. Mahirap yung banking process at yung ganito kalaking pera. So at least kung nasa inyo na pera, nada-download na, if you take 2 or 3 days to finish yung listahan bago ibigay, nasa inyo na yung pera, no? Another thing po that was got done, yung house to house, no? So na sunod po yung sa March 21 meeting po, sinuggest po ng House panel na house to house po ang validation, ang delivery, at meron po tayong infographics na nakapost dito sa Facebook ko, no? Ang hindi pa po namin natatanggal dyan, at yan po ay gusto namin i-work out sa DSWD, yung pong liquidation, meron pa hong pirmahan o payroll. Kasi sa panahon po ngayon, hindi dapat tayo lumapit, may social distancing. Pangalawa po, the droplets can be on the ball pen, on the paper, no? So ito po so far is not a COA regulation. But wala namang masama na makipag-ugnayan sa COA ang executive branch, no? So far it is the bureaucracy or the DSWD. And hindi po natin masisi ang DSWD because in the past, pag wala yan, sila pa nakakasuhan. But let me go back to my experience sa DFA po. And again, hats off sa atin SecGen ngayon at dati po nating Undersecretary na si Joel Montales. Alam nyo, nung bagong dating siya sa DFA, sinabi ko na kailangan talagang maayos yung problema sa passport. And una niyang tinanong, ano mga kailangan at kulang? At ang sagot sa kanya ng DFA, kulang na kulang sa tao. So sabi, sige, hire tayo kagad ng tao, kahit Saturday, Sunday, magte-training tayo. Yung una, sinabi po ng bureaucracy, 3 months eh. Nagalit pa si Yusek Joel, hinimay niya isa-isa yung requirements. Nagawa po to 1 month instead of 3 months. Another example is yung electronic payment, at actually yun ang nakasolve eh. Kasi about 30-40% nagre-reserve tapos hindi dumadating. Yung iba po mukhang harmless o hindi nila sinasadya, but yung iba po binebenta yung slots kaya pinupuno. But with electronic payment, bayad ka na bago ka makakuha nung bago ma-finalize yung appointment mo. So humalos 100% yung dumadating. Alam niyo po yung electronic payment po na yan, 1 year na pala na sa DFA. Even before I came there, pending na. So that's what I'm saying po, that there are real reasons sometimes dun sa tinitira natin na red tape. But extraordinary po sitwasyon ngayon, kaya kailangan extraordinary ang solusyon natin. So we have to work closely with the different agencies, and ano pa ba makakatalo dun sa picture na inaabot mo ang pera at pati yung bahay kuha, 'di ba? Everything, unless i-photoshop mo, but napakawalang yana naman siguro nung yung kapitan na hindi bibigay. At saka yung nasa picture naman, makakasalita yun kung binigay o hindi. So regarding guidelines is whether we agree or not, pareho naman po kami ng DSWD na ituloy nyo muna yung LGU kasama po ang mga field offices ng DSWD na i-start ipamigay ito. Doon po sa inyo nag-aalala na qualified kayo, hindi makakatanggap, every minute, every day po dinidiscuss kung paano punuan yan. So hindi naman po to one time na bigayan, ngayon lang, today lang, at yung hindi makakatanggap wala nang apela o wala nang pag-asa. So magtulungan po tayo. Pero kung meron po kayong kilala na lubos na nangangailangan, no, gamot, dalhin sa ospital, pera, whatever, no, tulungan na natin, 'di ba? Hindi lang naman gobyerno ang source ng tulong. So yung pagtutulungan, doon ako babalik ulit. This is the whole of people approach. Lahat na tayo dito, no? So third question, may nabanggit po sa isang araw si DSW Secretary Bautista na posible more than 18 million household talaga ang kailangan maabutan. Ito po yung sinasabi ko sa inyo kanina na isang problema, qualified ba kayo? Baka doon kayo sa 6.6 million. The other one is the actual survey. So nire-recognize po to ng DSWD, and in case kulangin ang 200B, may move pa ba mapag-usapan ng executive at legislative ang supplemental budget? The Bayanihan to Hilas 1 does not limit to 275 billion pesos. The executive can find other sources, but it's not that easy. It's quite tricky, no? Bakit po? Kasi po, pag bumagsak ang ekonomiya natin, marami din pong magugutom. So, recognize po ng gobyerno na madali pong buhayin ang ekonomiya, pero ang patay, hindi nating kayang buhayin, no? Having said that, the economic team is working hard na yung mga kukunin ng budget hindi makaka-apekto sa ating ekonomiya once na under control o matalo na natin tong COVID-19. Okay? Question, does DSWD authorize representatives to get cash aid? Well, kaya nga po natin gustong bahay-bahay kasi kung nandiyan ka sa bahay, hindi ka makakaligtaan. So, if you're someone who is working now and is in essential services, malamang po nandun ka sa 6.6 million eh. No? But for any reason, wala ka sa bahay, that's precisely why we're using LGUs, especially the barangay. So, you know, if I was a barangay captain now, my brother, Mayor Lino, was a barangay captain, or if you're a mayor, at mayor po dati si Lani, alam ko napakahirap ng burden na ikaw mamimili sino makakatanggap at sinong hindi. That's why we're trying to help explain. One, we're finding more funds. Number two, we're addition together with the executive, dinadagdagan natin yung programa. But number three, nakikiusap tayo na kung ano muna ang ibinigay tuloy-tuloy natin ipamigay, di ba? So I've been talking to also other mayors na kaibigan ko, and kanya-kanyang gawa ng paraan eh. So ang task namin today is to work with DSWD to simplify in one memorandum circular all the guidelines to take out lahat ng unnecessary, no? So kung may ideas po kayo, ibigay nyo lang, no? And sandali, just to acknowledge din, no? May nag-forward sa akin. Let me just see if it's, kung makikita ko kaagad. Tanong ni Mr. Ermin Garcia na Sunday Punch sa Dagupan. For needed personnel to distribute social amelioration forms, can we deploy unarmed police and army assisted by barangay personnel? Actually po, ang aming suggestion nga, yung ibahay-bahay yung forms at lahat bigyan, but with the explanation to them that i-evaluate pa yon at i-validate kung pasok sila sa ESP program, yung 5 to 8,000 or sa iba. But because nga may fixed number, ang naging interpretation at implementation ngayon is fixed yung number ng forms. Wala dapat kakulangan ng personnel na mag-deliver because dapat nagtutulong-tulong ang field office ng DSWD, PNP, AFP, barangay at saka yung LGU. But to answer your question, yes, this can be deployed. In fact, pagka pera na yung dinideploy, armed po talaga yung military at police. But I've been around, especially sa Taguig, na armado yung mga police. Very friendly pa rin po ang tao. Alam po nila na ang police po ngayon ay kakampi po nila. No? So, let me just check. May nagpadala sa akin kasi kanina na yung sa, I think this is sa mga liga ng LGUs, may petition nga sila sa gobyerno. No? So, anyway, I will look for it. Yung lahat ng pinapaabot nyo, yung maging ulap yan, maging Governor's League, Mayor's League, Councilor's League, ipaabot nyo lang po, no? But isa po tayo ng adikain at ang gusto talaga ng Pangulo, lahat mabigyan. Pero tandaan po natin, yung gusto niya at yung mekanismo at yung pera are two different things. That's why, ang ginawa ng Pangulo, binigay lahat ng power sa kabinete, except yung 2 powers na sinabi niya regarding businesses, and hanap ng pera at hanap tayo ng mekanismo. If you are thinking na aside from tinitingnan nyo yung delay or you want to criticize, although that's welcome, panoorin nyo rin po yung international news, no? All over the world po nahihirapan, even in very developed countries, kasi yung magnitude, yung laki po ng problema, no? So kung yun nga po sa Yolanda, which was one of the biggest tragedies sa ating bansa or for the decade or sa century, hirap na hirap tayo mag-respond when it was mostly in the Visayas area na tinamaan at hindi pa nga buong Visayas. But ngayon po, yung enhanced quarantine or at least community quarantine is almost all around the country and in many countries around the world, no? So kung titignan nyo po, for example, sa PPEs, kung mapapakinggan nyo lang po ang mga pag-uusap namin sa DOH at saka sa IATF, makikita nyo kung gaano namin pinaglalaban na dapat kung kaya nga mag-oversupply. That's why tuwan-tuwa po kami nung sinabi ni Secretary Galvez, ang head implementer ng IATF, na they will stockpile for a month. Because even sa New York, sabi nila wala nang 90-day, wala nang 60-day stock, days na lang ang stock nila. And nag-aaway-away na, no? May issue between Germany at US tungkol sa pagsusupply ng 3M ng mga mask, no? So let's do all that we can, and let me close again with gratitude. Pasalamat ulit sa lahat po sa inyo na you're finding a way. Marami po na may tahian ay nagtatahi na ng sariling mask. Nakita po namin yung mga gown na ginagawa. Yung mga hospital administrators, alam namin po overwhelming na, pero ginagawa nyo ng paraan. And as I said kanina po, no, yung mga host, ayokong banggitin, ayoko magkaroon po ng commotion sa ibang mga lugar. But maraming cities po, despite sa hirap sa nangyayari, sinusuportahan po nila ang DILG, IATF at saka po ang DOH at DFA dun sa mga OFWs na umuuwi. So again po, no, this is really time to dig deep, no, both into our hearts and to our pockets, and try to help more, no. Even po sa takeout, no, pinapanood ko po yung isang show na marami pong restaurant na talagang malaki overhead, no, yung renta, yung pasweldo. So yung mga nag-o-offer ng takeout, it's a sacrifice, but it will also help pay for their employees, no. So dun sa iba po na medyo may kaya at kaya nyo rin po umorder, or of course dun po sa lahat na kaya na ipagpatuloy nyo sweldohan yung mga empleyado nyo, marami pong ngayon na kahit malugi sila, sinesweldohan pa rin nila. That's why the sooner na ma-flatten yung curve, the sooner po na matalo natin ang COVID-19, less po, no, ang masasaktan, magkakasakit, mamamatay, but also more businesses po will survive, and it will be easier for government to help those who did not survive or those na naghihingalo. So magandang araw ulit po sa inyo. If I get the report within the next 2 hours, I might go through it with you. Kung hindi po, malamang bukas na. God bless you all. Salamat po sa pagbabantay nyo sa gobyerno, at sama-sama po tayo. God bless you.